Are you wondering if there is a better way to hire staff for your healthcare practice? Are you looking for new ways to create revenue for your practice or manage expenses differently? Do you want to keep up to date on clinic management best practices? Many clinic managers find that they need help from time to time from other clinic managers who understand their problems. Susan Doux and Katherine Porte of the Alberta Association of Clinic Managers are my guest experts on Practice Management Nuggets, webinars for your healthcare practice. Susan and Katherine will discuss the 3 common problems that the AACM can help clinic managers solve. My name is Jean Eaton, your practice management mentor with Information Managers, and your host for this Practice Management Nuggets webinar. In this 30-minute webinar, Susan Doux and Katherine Laporte will tell us about the Alberta Clinic Managers Association. Thank you for joining us today, Susan and Katherine.
Thank you for having us.
It's always exciting to hear about the new changes with the Alberta Clinic Managers Association, and it's an association that I feel has so much value and benefit to both the new clinic manager and the seasoned health professionals. So I'd like to introduce you both to our audience. So Susan is the current president with the Alberta Clinic Managers Association. She is an experienced and seasoned clinic manager, has also been a manager in other industries for over 20 years. She has been involved with the AACM since she joined her current clinic in 2012, first as a member and then part of the executive for the past 4 years. Susan is a married mom of 6 and has lived in Calgary for most of her life. Katherine Laporte has been working in healthcare management for over 15 years, both in community practice and as a part of the primary care network. She's been a member with the Alberta Association of Clinic Managers, or AACM, for the past 4 years, first as a member and now as a secretary on the executive. Katherine has found that the AACM to be an excellent source of knowledge and beneficial for networking with fellow managers. We are going to talk about the Clinic Managers Association and all of the benefits for a new clinic. We're also going to just mention here really quickly about other ways that you can connect with the AACM. So Katherine, you've been involved with rolling out some social media for the membership.
Yes, the executive has reached a decision that using social media may attract clinic managers who might not know we're here. So we have recently set up a LinkedIn account, Facebook, as well as a Twitter account. And you can also reach us at the aacm.ca website.
Okay, that's exciting. I'm really glad that the AACM is now on social media, and that's a great way to encourage people to connect and network in new ways. So that is a very exciting new initiative with the AACM. So the Alberta Clinic Managers Association has been around for a while. I always ask my guests about their number 1 tip for clinic managers. So what would be your number 1 tip about the benefit of being a member with the Alberta Association for Clinic Managers?
I would have to say the number 1 benefit is the networking. You, as a clinic manager, you are usually the only one in your clinic, not usually having somebody to discuss day-to-day issues, human resources, etc. With the AACM, you have a network of colleagues who are or have experienced the same issues that you are going through, and it's nice to be able to reach out to them and openly speak about what you're going through, make a plan to kind of adapt to the situation in your clinic.
Excellent. Susan, did you want to add to that?
Oh, well, I just want to echo what Kathleen has said. The networking and the friendships that I've made with being a part of the AACM has been invaluable. To be able to send out an email saying, hey, this is what I'm going through today. Has anybody else experienced it? Or I've got this staffing issue. And just the responses that you get back, or the phone calls of, hey, sister, I've been there. It's okay. This is what Kathleen is saying is very true. It's being a clinic manager sometimes can be a very isolated job. You have doctors usually as your bosses most times, and then you have staff beneath you, but there's not beneath you as in talking down to, but that you're responsible for, and you're kind of the thin part of the hourglass, and the sand is going both ways. And but the invaluable part of being able just to reach out and have that network with people of like mind and like job and like situation is incredible.
So knowing a friend that you can call, having that networking opportunity is so important. I really agree with you that working as a clinic manager in community practice can be really isolating. So having that additional people to be able to connect with who understand what it is that you're going through is so important. Okay.
The AACM does have a mentoringship program that we do offer for new clinic managers, where we can buddy you up with a seasoned manager as well, where we can maybe in the same city or maybe not even in the same city, but definitely within a phone call away, which is another really great benefit for new members and new clinic managers coming in.
That's a great benefit. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's one that I got to take part in when I first joined because I didn't have any medical background. So this is being thrown into a completely different kettle of fish. So to be able to have that, to have the person that you could just reach out to and say, hey, is this normal, was a real benefit.
Okay. So you get access to a mentor and their Rolodex and all of their resources too.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about what types of things go on with the Clinic Managers Association. What types of discussions do new members and the seasoned members have with the AACM? What would be, say, the top 3 things that you would talk about most frequently?
One would definitely be HR issues, and not just issues. You have a group of people that come from different backgrounds, different clinics. So some could be specialist clinics, family practitioners, a hybrid of both, diagnostics, and getting an understanding of even a wage that's out there so that you are on par with other clinics. Staffing issues, reprimands, performance reviews, hiring and dismissal, and the documentation that goes with it. It's a benefit for new managers and some seasoned ones who not had to deal with maybe as many HR issues, and the networking that goes with that.
Staffing and human resource issues is a big topic for clinic managers, and being able to have some discussion and some networking is really valuable. Does the AACM provide some additional resources to help them with those issues too?
We offer educational pieces at our conferences, usually around HR issues, privacy issues, the things that are most common between all of the clinics and the clinic managers.
So staffing is one topic. What would you say the next most frequent topic would be about?
I would think finances are always in the forefront of every manager's day. Dealing with, there's not a lot of extra money coming into the doctors via their, especially if they're fee for service or how the current structure is paid for the doctors, where they're the ones that are actually funding the life of the clinic. So there's things like we need to, how are you keeping your lights on? How are you dealing with pay raises? How are you dealing with not giving pay raises to staff? How are you keeping your staff engaged? I know it's all part and parcel of the staffing or whatever, but this is parts of, where are you going for your best deals? Who's giving the best supplies, pricing that we can get? Those kind of things are huge right now with having to deal with downsizing, if that's the case, because doctors just can't afford to bring on more staff, but the workload really hasn't changed. So I find the staffing and the finances a lot of times go hand in hand, and they're very intertwined, but that's also issues that we've been able to discuss as a group and as a conference, to be able to get feedback, to get some thoughts, to get some new ways of dealing with things.
Money is always a big topic, so having some different points of view about being able to figure out how to increase revenues or decrease those expenses is a big thing. Katherine, did you have anything else to add?
I guess under finances would be the electronic medical record as well. It's nice to know that there's other clinic managers out there that are going through a transition into the EMR, which ones and how they've dealt with certain situations. It's been a really big help for me that way.
It's
That's
always
very
nice
true.
to know somebody else that is going through the same situation, because we don't have to reinvent the wheel over and over again.
Exactly.
All right. And another area that you find that there are a lot of discussion around.
I would say privacy is a big one, especially in this day and age of electronics and social media. There is a lot of education around the privacy policies, information sharing, email, social media. We do bring the OIPC into our conference to update us on the latest PIA requirements, privacy breaches, and how to deal with them, and the first steps and where you find documentation. So a lot about the best practices and keeping all the patient information safe as well as clinic information.
Well, privacy is near and dear to my heart, and there's always lots of examples about things that go well and lots of things that don't go so well. So having a discussion is really important and is a great way to be able to improve our individual knowledge about the topic and being able to find ways to bring it back to our staff and implement it in a way that makes sense for your business.
I think it's really important as well. Like I know when things are going well, it kind of can go to the back burner, but it needs to be something that's constantly in the forefront. And I know that when I've personally have gone to the conferences and the OIPC is there speaking, then it's like, oh, right. And we go back and we can get things in line again with the clinic and ensuring that we're keeping, I explain it to my staff as we're trying to keep our doctors safe so that we're, not allowing them to be open to any kind of lawsuits or breaches or any room where a client can come back or a patient can come back and accuse that we haven't handled their information correctly. And I know like what you're talking about with the EMRs, picking the right ones so that, your faxes coming in are secure, your faxes going out are secure. There's different things that are going on now with email where you can get different programs and be able to discuss that and to be able to discuss again, because none of that comes free. So there's costs again that are involved. So there's so much again that is intertwined as a clinic manager where all these discussions will come forward and we're able to discuss them as a group.
You talked about three things that are common topics of discussion. We talked about staffing and finances and privacy, and I'm sure there's lots of other topics as well. How does a member of the AACM have access to these other people to connect with them? We've talked about the annual conference, but what other ways can they have access to that information?
Once someone becomes a member of the AACM, they have access to the members side of the website, and all presentations that are done at the conferences, all contact information of the speakers and documentations are all uploaded into the website so that members can go at their leisure, maybe review a presentation that they've seen, download some documentation that has been brought into there. They also have a forum where they can post a question and get feedback from other members. So that's a really good part of the website for AACM members.
Okay. And then you've got the email contacts as well, so you can do one-to-one. Mm-hmm. And the Edmonton chapter also has fairly frequent meetings as well.
That's correct. The Edmonton and District Clinic Managers Association is the Edmonton kind of managers that meet the third Wednesday of every month at the Chateau Louis, and we bring in different speakers. We've had a few this last year. We had Gwen come in and go over the new labor laws, which is something that I know the Calgary group has done as well.
Yes, we meet, the Calgary chapter meets once every other month, but we do as well where we brought Gwen in from MNP who came in and discussed all the new laws that are affecting the new labor laws that have affected things like having to pay your staff now for Good Friday even though they have the day off. if they're a scheduled day off, and the new laws and the new rules that are going into place that are again affecting finances. And having we've had a group meeting where we're able to come in and, we brought our version of our performance reviews and our performance appraisals and shared them around the table to see what was working for us and what wasn't. And, how do you do peer reviews? Do you do something that's called like a 360 where a doctor and another staff member and the clinic manager is a part of your review? Do those work? Are they functional? Those kind of things. And how are you dealing with keeping staff engaged? What do you do with your negative Nancy and your little gossip Gail that's causing dissension in your group? So these have been really informative, and they're open to the members again that are a part of the AACM. You're more than welcome to come. We get send out. Kat's really good about sending out email reminders and Facebook reminders for our clinic managers that are a part of the Calgary group, so that because it's once you get busy and life takes over, but there's a reminder that goes out a few days before to remind them again about the meeting coming up.
Something that we haven't mentioned yet, does the AACM also offer a job board or an employment board of some kind?
It does. When you're a member, you're given that side of given access to that side of the web page or the website, and there's a forum or there's places there where you can list job postings that are maybe coming up in your clinic, or a clinic manager is retiring or leaving and they can place their position up there. It's a great place for that kind of information to be shared, and then within your clinic, then you may have somebody that's referred to you that somebody else knows and is willing to vouch for. So it's very beneficial that way. It helps a lot with the vetting of trying to get someone fit into your clinic that's going to fit with the rest of your crew. So it's a great way for that as well.
So we've got lots of ways to connect with the association. Tell us a little bit more about the AACM as an organization.
The AACM was founded about 61 years ago. It's the only association in Alberta of its kind. It provides very valuable information and services to members right across the province, regardless of whether you're coming from a small physician clinic to a larger multidisciplinary clinic. AACM has a volunteer board of directors, which Susan is our current president. We have a past president, which is Marina. There are 3 VPs of the AACM, Margot, Rhonda, and Wendy. And a treasurer, which is Francine, and myself as the secretary.
Okay. And then there is an association for Canada as well.
Yes, the MGMAC, or the Medical Group Management Association of Canada. They are the parent organization of the Clinic Managers Association. All the province belongs to them once they sign up to the AACM. They have a website of their own, which members have access to. Again, they have a yearly conference. This year, it's conjoined with the AACM. And they have resources on their website. They have, again, a forum where you can ask a question that might not just pertain to Alberta, but nationally. And you'll be able to get answers that way as well.
Excellent. So let's talk about the conference coming up at the end of June 11th to the 14th.
We're going to have a conjoined conference, like Kat has said, with the MGMAC. June 11th, though, is the Alberta Day. Okay. So it'll be geared to and is for our membership in Alberta. Anybody that's attending the conference is more than welcome to come, but the issues that are there are going to be dealing with Alberta government type, anything that's legislated, that kind of thing. We have an amazing speaker coming in named Faith Wood, who is incredible for that. We have her for our keynote for the morning, and for the afternoon is coming in to discuss how to handle difficult conversations with staff. How do you get them engaged in a meeting where they don't want to be a part of? She's actually going to do some handwriting analysis at the end of her time with us as well. She's a great lady. She's funny. She's very engaging. She was an ICU nurse, plus she was an RCMP for a while, so she understands pressure, she understands tension, she understands isolation. So she's a great speaker. So that's for the Alberta Day, plus it'll be our annual general meeting. So when you're a member, you're allowed to take part of that and have a voice and how we morph and change as an organization and as an association. Where next year's conference is going to take place. You get to be a part of the exec if you so choose. There's always room with people leaving and positions becoming available, so that there's, if you want to have a stronger voice, the executive is a great way to be able to be part of that. Very strong group of ladies that I think the friendship that morphs out of that is for life. These ladies I cherish in my heart. With each one has a gift that they're bringing to the executive. And then the rest of the time, the Tuesday to Thursday, will be under the umbrella of the MGMAC, so it'll be national. There's going to be people from all across Canada there, where we will have different speakers coming in. There's a motivational speaker coming in dealing with leadership, and you'll have access. He's giving every person that's coming a gift of, it's worth $300 towards his leadership course that he has online in his on his website. So it's going to be an amazing time where you get to, and there's some fun things planned too, where there's social events where you get to mingle with people that you otherwise would probably never come across. But we're going to be captive in Canmore for 4 days where we get to know each other and spend some time and make some really good bonds and friendships.
Okay. I've had the opportunity to attend a few of the AACM and the MGMAC conferences, and they are always really well organized. There are a lot of great resources, a lot of good speakers, lots of opportunities to speak with vendors, and a lot of great connections that will help you plan the rest of your business year.
It's true. The vendors are, they're excited. They sign up early to be a part of this because they know that they have a captive audience for a few days where you're able to go and you'll be able to see what their goods they're offering and the input that they could have into your clinic or the help that they could bring. So there's EMR specialists will be there, suppliers will be there. It's a really good time. There's probably, with all told, will be over 100 people there just being able to glean from and learn from and be a part of. So it's going to be a really exciting time. And
Canmore's a great place to be.
Yes,
it'll be awesome.
I just look forward to seeing everybody at the conference in June.
All right, so we've got the conference in June, but let's get back to the AACM. How can somebody join the AACM?
They can join by going to the aacm.ca website. Right on the homepage tells you about the benefits of being a member and to a link to click to access the application process. The criteria to join as a member: you need to be a clinic manager of 3 or more physicians in your clinic. There can only be 1 clinic manager with a voting member per clinic. So if you job share or there's a manager of human resources and a manager of office procedures, only 1 member can have a voting membership per clinic. Once you apply and pay your membership fees, your application will be reviewed and you will be approved.
It's a simple process. We go to the website, aacm.ca, and follow the Join Us button to get all of the information and the application process for joining the Clinic Managers Association.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today for Practice Management Nuggets in your healthcare practice. Today we talked about the Alberta Association of Clinic Managers with our guests Susan Ledoux and Katherine Porte. And you have showed us that there are more people out there to help us. So we've got some mentoring opportunities, networking opportunities, and all sorts of resources that are available as a member of the Alberta Clinic Managers Association. So thank you very much, Susan and Katherine, for joining us and sharing your information with us.
Thank you for having us.
My name is Jean Eaton, and I love surrounding myself with practice managers and healthcare providers who want to start, grow, and improve their practices. I want to help you with more great tips, tools, templates, and training that you can use right away. Members of Practice Management Nuggets will receive a link after our webinar today with the link to contact the Alberta Association of Clinic Managers. I search for guest experts who will share their #1 tip with you. Let me know if there's a topic or a guest expert that you want to hear on Practice Management Nuggets webinars for your healthcare practice. Until next time, I'm Jean Eaton, your practice management mentor with Information Managers.